Welcome back to my hobby room. I'm LJ, and today I thought I would take you along as I make some cute little Easter Sizzix Thinlits dies, Tim Holtz. And I thought I'd answer some questions that maybe you might have if you are someone who has not made these before. They're rather intimidating when you first look at them. In fact, when I first bought the first set, took me a little while to get around to actually making them because they're intimidating. You open them up and you say, what do I do with all these pieces? I don't even know where they go. What I found is the package that they give you is the best hint as to what to do with it. And then the second best thing is taking a look at a video of someone who's already put it together. So I thought I would do that for you. This is from the Vault. This is the Vault version of this Sizzix die by Tim Holtz, and it includes the banner, the bunny, the chick, the egg, and the flower, and a couple little things that you can put on the bunny. He doesn't have to wear the glasses, but you can put them on if you want. The chick doesn't have to wear the bow tie, or you can put the bow up in her hair if you like as well. But I'm not going to do either one of those, but what I am going to do today is make two tags. What I wanted to do was put the bunny on one, probably a banner on each of them, and a grassy bottom, so they're sitting on outside. It looks like they're sitting outside. And this is how I keep all my little edge dies and things like that. And if you remember, I got recently a little set of dies from the Dollar Tree. And here it is. And I'm going to cut out the green to go at the bottom of this. But before I do that, I want to do the top of here, the top of this in a pattern. So I just didn't want you to confuse this thinking it came with the set. It did not. This is from the Dollar Tree. So I'm going to set it over here so we remember where it goes, because I like to keep my die sets together. Sometimes I split them up and if they have any sentiments, I put them separately, but I like to keep the set together so I can find the things I need. So I cut those out. Then I cut the bottom of each of the three elements out, and I did that so that it would be kind of thick, because this is a little thicker than regular cardstock, and that makes your person, your character, whatever your element, thicker, which also makes it a little more sturdy, so you don't have to make multiple layers in order to get it to kind of look substantial. So what I wanted to do now was show you what I do. I'm not saying this is the right way or the only way or the best way even. I'm telling you what I do. You can watch a million people and probably see a million different ways people do things. What I would suggest is you try some of them. Watch what someone does. Try it. If it works for you, then keep doing it. If it doesn't, find somebody else's and follow theirs. So what I found is if it's something big and I want it to be a certain color, then I either make a background and use that, or I use a solid, or even a pattern paper that I already have. But for these little guys, what I like to do, because they're so little, rather than cutting them out of something, I would have cut him out. I like to take and make the colors that I want them to be, and then cut it out, and you'll put the ink down, cut it out of there, doing it that way. So that's what I'm going to do today. You'll notice there are little marks that show you exactly, see if I can get something to point with, that show you exactly where things are going to go. So this is not like a smile. This is his chin will be the darker color. So you could make this bunny whatever accent, whatever color you want. This particular one has an accent color of pink. That doesn't mean you have to do it in pink. Doesn't mean it has to be white. It could be brown when you're done with it. I like to make the first one kind of similar unless I have a real good idea. as the one on the package, because then if it's done and it looks like it, I feel like I've put it together properly. Then I can kind of go off on my own. But what we're going to do here is I'm going to take this pink out of here, and I'm going to put it around wherever I want there to be pink. You don't have to put it on all of it, but you can put it on a lot of it. And you could put it on all of it if you want. Like if you're not sure, just put it on all of it. It's okay. But it kind of gives it a little bit. It'll be darker in some places and lighter in others. And that kind of makes it look good, because in real life, that's how things are colored. They're not necessarily exactly the same color all the way through. And especially for little caricatures, it's kind of fun to give them a little bit more. All right, so now we've got the pink in there. Now you notice his, or her, having a hard time with that, there, this part will be all white then, and we'll put that right on top. And then this part, they've got it as kind of a peach color. To me, it looks like saltwater taffy color. So we're going to make it white. We'll put this part in the white, like this. You should be able to cut that straight away, like this. Then I would take this part. We could leave it. We don't even need to do anything with it. If we don't have to cut it, because it'll cut when we cut that out. But I'll take saltwater taffy, and I'll just put some here. All right, which is more than enough. I could have done like 10 of them with what I put on there, but that's okay. Wanted to make sure I had enough. All right, so now I'm going to take my little sidekick here. My old friend Sidekick. Sidekick and I have been around for a while together. I know, I could be like the kids and say, we've been kicking things for a while, because he's a sidekick. But once I've explained that joke, it kind of loses its ability to make anyone think it's funny. So here we are. Okay. Go through. And this will give us all the little pieces. So his head, or her head, is one. The body is another. And the body with both arms is, and one leg is one. And then the other leg has a little foot coming out of it. Of course it has a foot. It's a leg and a foot. I mean, but you know, it has the little paw pads are open. Like he's open-toed. Only not. All right. Then these we're going to do in this saltwater taffy. Now, see, you think, oh, I've got all of this. I'll put it, I always put it to the edge. I might be able to get a second one out of there, because who knows? I might be making another one. Earlier today, I did a little bit of die cutting, and I ended up die cutting about 40 things instead of the 3 I thought I was going to, just because it was so darn cute. Sometimes that happens to me. I had a strike of cuteness occur, and I was like, oh, I want to make more of these. I want to make more of these. And I just kept making them, and now I've got a whole pile of them. Which, by the way, again, if you're making one, you might as well make more, and future you will be so happy. Now, this I found to be a thing that happens sometimes. Sometimes these, if you'll notice, the one in the middle, I went through it, I think I went through it twice, but sometimes they just don't cut as well because they're in the middle of these other ones. Just happens. And the sidekick is, my sidekick is old. Sometimes it needs a shim. That's pretty common for older die cutting machines. It's not nothing wrong with it or anything like that. It just happens sometimes. So if you see it not cutting and another time through doesn't seem to help you, If it's still a little, nah, it's coming up fine. Then you might want to put a shim in there. And a shim is just another piece of paper, a little bit, you know, extra paper in there makes it a little bit thicker, and then it goes through better. But it doesn't look like we need it for this one, so that's good. All right, let me make sure this little, before I put the big shot away, because we're going to make, or little, I'm sorry, the sidekick, that we're going to make one at a time, and then we'll come back and bring this, since it's so easy to bring in and out. But this little guy, you'll notice, is right here, and that's the eyes and the mouth for the bunny. I'm going to look and get some, in my scraps behind me, I keep white and black scraps and some other specialty paper scraps. I do that so that I never have to get up if I need to find white or black or specialty things, like any kind of, like the grass we're going to use is back there, and the gold or silver or something like that. Just little things that you're going to use. It's nice to have them close by, because my paper bin that I use for, you know, the scraps is a little bit further away. So he's hard to see. Look at this. Wow. Okay. So that must be in there. Got a lot of black there for the little bit I need, huh? Where am I? There they are. Okay. So you'll see that little, wow, is that tiny? Okay. That's tiny. These are tiny. These are going to be hard to keep track of. What I found is that if there's something hard to keep track of, I usually lose it. It's not true. I don't lose a lot, but I have lost some. And my biggest problem with losing something is if I drop it, because if I drop it, we're probably just cutting another one at this point, if it's this small, because finding it is almost impossible. It's nice to put it someplace where you can find it. So a lot of times I'll try to put it on the white. For instance, if I'm using my glass mat and the white over to the side, I'll put it there, because otherwise on the black, I'll never find it. It'll be it'll be there next week, and I'll still not see it. All right, so I think we've got all of these. So the parts, I looked at them earlier and tried to move them all together. So we have, here's the bunny parts. If we want to put any of these on, we've got the extras. I'm not going to do that for this one. And then these are all the parts for the egg, and then these are all the parts for the chick. So let me put this away. It's so easy to put away. It's just get it out of the way for right now. It's so much easier than, I don't think I'm going to put it too far, because we are bringing it back in just a little bit, but I'll move this over a little bit. So we'll see if his little pads come out of his feet. Oh, look at that. That one came out. Come on. It's this one here. Okay. So 2 of them did come out. Is that all there was? I think there was, the other 2 are just little indentions. So I think if we can get this off of here, we're in business. So it would have been nice to have gotten maybe one more little, there we go. One more pass would have done it probably, but it's okay. It's part of what the fun is. So I'm looking at my picture, and I noticed that, if you notice on here, the little foot covers the whole thing. It goes up here. So I think we'll glue him down first, or his leg down first, I should say. Her leg down first. I haven't decided yet. I think this is going to be a he, and the chick is going to be a she. I don't think it matters. Maybe they're both she's. Maybe they're both he's. Maybe they're bunnies and it doesn't really matter. I don't know. I usually decide what they are before I make them so I can give them a name. Or if I knew I was giving this particular bunny, you know, a bow in the hair, I would say, oh, well, we'll make it a she. Doesn't have to be a she with a bow in the hair, but we'll make it a she with the bow in the hair. But I didn't say that, so. Now, this around the face, you could take a little gray and go around it. But I think I'm going to mess up if I don't pay attention here. I think I'm going to not do that. I think I'm going to leave it without the gray around it. I'm trying not to make it look too distressed looking. And I think the pink I have here already does a pretty good job of that. So, and here's the problem. Once you cover up, once you cover it up with this, now you no longer have where it tells you where to put your little ears at. But I think we can see on the pictures there, it'll be okay. Sometimes I don't like where they put things. I made these, the one with the little nutcracker guys, or the little soldiers, I guess. And I swear the people who did the, I don't know who did it, but whoever did it different than I wanted it done. And I just kept making it the way I wanted it. It's mine. I can do what I want with it. I paid for it. can make it however I want. So if you see something, you do not have to follow what it says on there. I'm seeing right now the ear. I'm not happy with the way the one ear is. Well, it's okay. You know, there's no Sizzix police going to come and hunt you down and tell you that you did it wrong. In fact, nobody's going to tell you that you did it wrong, because that's the best part about doing these kind of things. You do whatever you want. And most people, if they're, you know, especially if they're creative, they know what it's like, and they're like, hey, I support you. You do what you want to do. All right. So I think this is the right order to do it in, because then this thing needs to go on top. See? That looks pretty good like that. I do like that color. I think that was a good choice for the belly and the ears. And you put that one in there like that. So now he's got the, or she's got a little belly. I think I decided it was a he. I'm going to name him. I'm going to name him. What should I name him so I can be sure that once I've named him, then I've decided the gender at the same time. I'm going to name him George or Bill, anything but Sue. My name is Sue. How do you do? Those of you who know that reference are probably as old as I am, or older. But not necessarily. I found a lot of younger people who have good knowledge of older artists, and that's good. If you look at this picture, you'll see, we get to the face. The face is the hardest part for me, because depends on how you make the face. You either make a creepy rabbit, or you or you make a cute little bunny, depending on what you do. And I'm a little concerned about this. I found out with the dogs, with Tim's dogs, they look kind of crazy because they were called crazy dogs, and people didn't really appreciate them unless I made their eyes, I made their eyelids. I went over their eyelids and made them, I just took a, line and put it over and colored it, and then they looked like they were regular dogs instead of crazy dogs. And then people seem to like them better. But it's just hard because you just don't know. And it looks like these eyes are two different sizes, a little bit off a little bit, because one's supposed to be closer to you. So I think the one closer to you is supposed to be bigger, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. If it's way off, you can cut others, I guess, but it doesn't look too bad, huh? All right. Then let's put this little nose in here. You can also put the little marks, like whiskers, you know, with a pen or whatever you have. But I'm not sure about this here. Come on. Come on, little bunny. This is supposed to be your nose. And then this part down here is supposed to be your mouth. And this is the part so he has it way up higher. I don't know. I don't know that that helps it much. I'm having a hard time with puts the eyes a lot further out, doesn't he? Yep. A lot further out. So let's try that. See how that works. That works better. I just don't want him to look scary. That's all. Just don't want him to look scary. I'm gonna need some more glue now. It's dried and then I've moved it, so that's a problem. It's one of the good things about, you know, the It's Only Paper thing, is if you make this and you don't like it, all I gotta do is cut out another one and put it right over the top of this one, and then it looks like I just wanted some dimension. Just keep that in mind when you're making something, that it doesn't have to be perfect the first time you get it. And if it isn't, you can always do something about it. So I'm not sure I like this nose thing going on here. I'm just not a fan. I think I would rather have a little pink piece in there for the nose, especially if this is going to be the mouth. I'm just not, it's not, if you put the glasses over it like this, I'm still not a fan of these, of this. It's a little too big for me, and you don't have any pinkness right here. Maybe like if that's supposed to be his nose, like if this is supposed to be his nose sticking out, and that's supposed to be, it seems big, doesn't it? Like a big nose for this little bitty guy. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this color of pink here, and you see this right here? Look at this. So this is the flower, and this is supposed to be the middle of the flower. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put his nose right there, like that, in pink, and see if I like that better. Because again, it's mine. I can do what I want with it. And you could also just draw this on if that makes you feel better, but it doesn't for me. I kind of want to have a little nose on there. And I want it to be a cute little nose. I don't want him to be spooky looking, which right now I'm getting, the nose looks like some sort of a device on him, and I'm not happy about it. And I'm sure it's just where I'm putting it. It's adorable. I'm sure it's just where I'm putting it, and it's not user error. In other words, it's not it's not meant to be that way. But sometimes when you can't get things to work, you got to do what's best for you. So right now, I think making that little nose out of that instead of in a little middle of the flower would be better for me than trying to continue to do this. So I'm going to go over here where it's a little bit lighter. And I'll also get a little flower out of this if I do it the right way. All right, so the flower is very cute, and here's what I think. Let's give it a try, see if we like it. Again, if we don't like it, try something else. I kind of would like it to be almost heart-shaped, because that's what I think about when I think about a little nose for a bunny. You know, I think of that kind of like a heart shape. But what if we put this down? We left that little black that's there, the remnant of the other thing, and just left it there. I think it looks kind of cute. I think I like it better than I did the other one for sure. So, and maybe I would just put that little mark in there if I was going to do it again, like that. But maybe not. Maybe I'll figure out something else between now and then. Maybe I'll find something that I want to use instead. It's hard to find a die this small. That's the only, but I've got more than a couple little Sizzix sets, so I might have something that would actually work. But see, if I put it on here like this, then what I want to do I'm just going to leave it like that, like he's a little bunny and he has little whiskers, but they're teeny tiny little whiskers. They're not big. So I did that in pencil first just to see if I liked it before I committed to it. There. I think he looks really cute like that. So what I want to do is we'll put him over here for now. And we'll check out our little chick. All right, so the chick is going to be, this is the base of the chick. This is the color that goes up here. When you make it, it goes like this. And then this goes on here. So this part, like this is a lighter color and an even lighter color, but this is supposed to be the darkest part of the chick. So I'm going to go with Wild Honey, which is my darkest color of yellow. It's almost orange. That's how yellow it is. So we're going to put some of that on. And we don't need to do the legs because the legs are going to be like an orangey red color. Probably Crackling Campfire is probably what color I'm going to make them. So we got the honey here, and we're going to go with maybe I should have done marmalade, but I've got three now. I've got 3 yellows. Didn't used to have, but I do now. So we're going to make if I can get that on here. So this is kind of a fun thing I like to do, which is to try and get, I'm not going to make it on there, but I will get this little guy on here for sure. So I'm going to do this one. Okay, and then we'll put the last one we'll do with fossilized amber. The last one we'll do with squeezed lemonade, which is a much lighter yellow. And we'll do that right here because I know that'll work right there. So that'll go right in there. Okay. And that's squeezed lemonade. But this one is fossilized amber. We don't need that much. Let's just go this way with it. And that way we'll have some extra for we need for the banners and the legs, and I could probably get the legs around here. I just try to use, it's almost like a game to see how much you can, how much of that paper you can use and not get any more out. It's just it's a fun game at this point. So let's take this, go through here, and put this little guy. Again, I try to put them where I can get two of them if I need to, because then the second one is so much easier. I should have done that better. I did not. Sorry if that's shaking. I don't know what else to do because that's the way I got it set up so I can film. Otherwise, I have to go over there and do them and come back. All right, so this one here, and then this one, lighter yellow yet, here. That's funny. Couldn't do that again if I tried, probably, but I think I like doing this because it's like making something 3D out of something 2D, and I'm all about making things like that, and especially things that have different layers. Whoa, look at, I missed his eyes and his beak. Where's his beak at? Did I miss his beak somewhere? I'm not sure. It looks like it's colored there, but I don't see it anywhere. Oh, it's in here. It's the same color as his feet. That's why. Interesting. Okay. You can tell I've not made this before. I didn't know that for sure. Okay, we'll see about the feet and the beak. I think crackling campfire it is, because that's what I saw. As soon as I saw it, that's what I thought. I was like, oh, that looks like crackling campfire. Crackling campfire, which to me is a lot darker than what I just, the orange. It's almost red, but it's a deep orange, and that's what I saw when I saw it. So again, you can make it whatever color you want, but I like the first time through to kind of follow the example close, or at least as close as I want. Like with that nose, I've changed my mind, and that's okay. I might see other people do it and say, oh, that's what it's supposed to do, and then I'll get a better handle on it. But as of right now, I like my little pink nose for him and a couple little marks a lot better. I think his little face is cute now. It's cute in the example they have with the little glasses on, but mine was not looking as cute. Mine was not looking cute like that. I did want to put glasses on him, so I don't think there's anything wrong with glasses on a bunny. I think he looks adorable, but just not right now. Okay, so I'm going to put, it's easier to cut this than it is to, and the black, I didn't have for a long time, I didn't have black Distress ink, but now I do. But I still use black paper for the eyes. I think it's more just because I have so much scrap of it that I seems like a good plan. Plus, you don't expect the eyes to have variance in them very much. I mean, you could put a little white, you know, right in the middle. I do that sometimes just to give them a little life. And I probably will with this bunny because I think his are pretty big. If they're too little, a lot of times when they're real little, I say as I've now lost this one. Oh, here it is, I think. Is that it? Maybe not. Maybe so. Yes, yes it is. What I do sometimes though is I'll just use a marker rather than if they're too little and it's just too difficult sometimes to do it, and that's fine. Just use a marker and do what you need to do to make yours look the way you want it. That's the whole point of creating things. You create what you want, the way you want it, right? Took me a long time to figure that out. In fact, I thought at first, when I first got the first couple of Sizzix, I thought, oh, I made it exactly like the one on the box. I did it right. It's my Lego building kind of thinking about it that way. But in reality, it doesn't. In fact, the more you make it look like the one on the box doesn't necessarily mean it's any better or any worse or anything. It just is. So, all right, so here's our example again, just so you know. His little eyes look a little crooked that way, and that's where his beak goes. We're going to try and replicate that if we can, at least, like I said, as much as I want to. So this one I made the different color yellow, but it might not be quite as different as the one in the example. And I also notice, okay, they just put it on there. I see what they did. Okay, so let me get my... The other thing you can do, if you'd rather, I first go to inks, but I have done this in the past using alcohol markers as well. And you can do the same thing. You color your little spot and cut it out the same way. And when I first started, I used a different sheet of paper for each one, and let me tell you, that got crazy, like intensive as far as so much going on. This is a so much easier way for me to do it. If you're talking big pieces and, you know, and maybe something that you want, it might be okay, but I found over time that I just got more and more to where I want to make just a little swatch and do it that way rather than color the whole thing, you know, one color and then get another color out. And especially when you're talking like 3 colors of yellow. I don't know that I have 3 colors of yellow paper. I probably do, but I don't know. If I looked hard enough, or I could maybe find, you know, like I could find one somewhere or something, but this is so much easier and it's kind of fun to do. Oh, I put that on top of there. Why did I do that? That's not right. Huh. This happens to me too. Sometimes I put them in the wrong place. It's like, that doesn't look like it's right. And guess what? It wasn't. So there we go. Now when this dries, the problem is it's a little bit wet right now, but when it dries, we can always rub it a little bit with the thingy and get everything else off of it. There we go. Okay, there we go. And then let's get these 2 eyes. So, and then we got to put the feet and the little beak on. Maybe I should put the beak on first. Maybe that would be a good plan. So you'll notice it's sticking out over here, but the way that they have it up here, it's more of a suggestion than a than a hard rule. And then, so they're a little closer together. Bigger one looks like it's here, the smaller one there. And we'll give it a try and see how it goes. Hopefully it looks right. And then we'll put this guy over here. As soon as he got a second eye, he looked kind of real, didn't he? Yeah, it's kind of fun. All right, well, I'm happier with his face in terms of it looking more like it's supposed to. Like it looks like a face to me a little bit more. Come on, you need to dry like this. Why are you not drying fast? Oh, let me push you down. There we go. All right, now let's get these legs on, or these, yeah, legs and feet. Legs and feet. So you notice, this one's a little bit harder. I should have left them in there so I could find out which one is which. I think this one is that one, and this one is this one. This one's the longer one. Okay, this one has a smaller toe, so now that's how I'll remember it. You got to kind of look at them the first time and figure them out. But that one has a smaller toe, smaller little toe right there, and that's how I'm going to know to put him in there. So that's what I usually look for. They usually give you like a little hint. And if you look at it long enough, it's like, what's different about this? You know, that the little game you play in the newspaper or in the books or whatever, where you look at two pictures and figure out what's different about them? It's kind of like the game you're playing here. But it's a fun game. And at the end, you get a cute little chick out of it. And we're going to put that little chick to work in a little bit. All right. So now, if a little bit of the yellow shows, it's okay. It looks like he's got a little dimension to him, right? I think he looks pretty cute. Much happier with the way he came out than I thought at first. I was a little worried. So we got this guy and this guy. And here's another little hint for you if you do this. And you just want it to be a little less obvious. Just take your white and you go around it. And it kind of makes it disappear a little bit. That makes it less obvious, but it also gives it a little bit of, makes it look a little bit dimensional. It's good. All right, next, we got this cute little guy here. So now we got this guy and this guy done. So now I'm going to do some eggs. So I did one of these because I was just going to show you the one, but I realized if I only do one and it's all in white, but we don't have to do white. So here's what I believe is the bottom one. And I don't know why it's got a hole all the way through it. I don't think it's supposed to. I think, well, of course it's supposed to, but I think what we're supposed to do, this goes here, and then I thought this other one, like this will go through, and you won't see that one there. And this one here, if you notice, this one does not have the hole. So this has got to be the bottom one, unlike the one I did. So I'm going to use this as a middle layer. And let's do this. Let's make the, I think a cute color would be blue. Let's make the egg blue. And this will be the bottom one. Now I'll still have that dimension here because remember this is really thick, and it's okay as long as you're putting layers on. So I did the wrong one. That's okay. We'll do the right one. And let me find 3 colors. Let's go with Tumble Glass and Salty Ocean and let's put Chip Sapphire at the bottom because that's the only thing that's going to show through is that. Oh, that should be lighter though, shouldn't it? Yeah, this should be the lightest color. I don't want Chip Sapphire on there. How about Prize Ribbon then on the top? Prize Ribbon, Salty Ocean, Tumble Glass. So Tumble Glass needs to be this one. This one needs to be Tumble Glass. All right. So a lot of thinking going on. And then you could do it, and it might still not look like what you wanted, and guess what? Then you just do it again. It's not the end of the world. It's okay. If it doesn't come out the way you like it, redo it. So on this one, I'm going to put that's Tumble Glass, and then I'm going to put Salty Ocean next to it. Look at the difference in the color. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do, was it? No, I need to take Salty Ocean and make this Salty Ocean. Yep. So that's okay, because luckily I'm at the lighter going to the darker, not the other way around, because that doesn't work very well. All right, so let's go with the darker blue. I'll bring it out, which is Prize Ribbon. And we're going to put Prize Ribbon over here. I think that'll be fine. So let's put Prize Ribbon, the ocean. And now if I had cut them all out ahead of time, I could just do this, cut them all out in white. But I did not, because I wanted to save some fun for you to have with me. So here's the lighter one and the darker one. I think we could put them together through at the same time. Let's move this back over so you can see a little bit. Not exactly, you know, a lot of room up here, but if you can see, that's pretty good. Hopefully these two, see what happened? See, one usually works really well. When you get a second one, you try to be greedy, sometimes not so well. That's when you really gotta... I usually find with the Sidekick, one of the things I really like is you don't have to tape them down. They usually stay pretty good, which is another reason why I like using the Sidekick a lot. But... all right, let's see. Well, we got 2 colors. Oh, what is this little guy doing? Where did he come from? Oh, because he's supposed to go see through to see to that one. Ah, I gotcha. So it looks like that. There we go. Okay. And then this guy's going to be underneath at the bottom. Okay. So let's put this back away and assemble our little egg and see how it is. Now, what I'd like to do, and I saw some people do this already, is use some of the, you know, make some out of other things. I do have other sets I can make eggs out of if I wanted to. But I wanted to put this one together because it kind of goes with it. It's got the same kind of, you know, same kind of setup and such on it. So kind of like that. So let's put him first on here, or the egg. And unless you're in... it's not a he or a she, it's an egg. Okay. And that's looking pretty good. I like the the little different colors are. So one thing is too, is you can see because of the way this is embossed, kind of lets you see where you could put your glue, which is kind of nice too. You don't even have to put it on it. And then put this. Now if I want to make sure that that edge gets a little bit, because that edge does go up a little bit further than I thought it did. Okay. Okay. And here's our little blue egg. So now what I'd like to do, I do want to make this for each one of them. What I want to do is use some different colors. And then we're going to be at the point where maybe I'll put a couple little flowers in there. And then we'll be at the point where all we need to do is assemble them. We'll have them all made up and all we have to do is assemble them. So let's go through. So this guy here, this little flower, I'm going to use it to make one thicker. And I think I'm going to want to do that with all of them because I think it'll look cute if they're thicker and they kind of stick up from the green. So I might want to go through and make a bunch of these out of some of these colors that I have. And I think that's what I'm going to do right now, is do some of those. What I want to do is put all of these and not lose them. That's my, I saw someone made recently a really good magnet to put them on. And I was thinking, that seems like a good idea. I should get one of those. So that might be on my list of things I want to get. Where is the flower? The other part of the flower and the thing. That's all. We're down to just those. Okay. So I'm going to put these away. I keep mine in. I keep all of my Tim Holtz ones, not all of them, but almost all of them. I keep in their original containers because they have the picture on them. Very few of his I don't keep in the original container, but there's probably one or two. I have a pretty good collection now, but don't feel bad if you don't have any at all, or if you have one or two. I mean, if you like doing them, just collect them a little bit at a time. When he comes out with a new one that you really like, I always have to say that I have to love it. If I love it, then I'll find a way to get it. But if I don't love it, if I just like it, I kind of let it go and see. And sometimes I've had the ones that I've loved, if I let it go for a little bit, I'm like, I got something similar to that. I'll be okay. But usually when I love it, even if I let it go for a while, eventually I end up getting it, just because you love it, So I'm going to make some of these pink and some of the blue. I don't know how many I want. I like the blue and the yellow. So I want to do all of those. So this is going to take a minute or two. How about if I come back once I have all of these done and we can take a look at them. notice I got my flowers all together here. I got all my stems over here. We're just cooking with fire over here. We're going to town. Did I mention that these projects are not real quick? They take time. And if you don't enjoy that time, I suggest you don't do these, because I'm going to tell you now, I've spent more time on one of these and then given them to somebody and they go, oh, that's nice, thanks. And then they put it to the side, and that's the last time they've ever looked at it. And if you don't enjoy the process, sometimes you don't get a very big response. It looks really neat, but they just don't realize how much time it takes. I think a lot of people, you know, when they get something like that, they kind of go, oh, yeah, so you know, yeah, I see. You cut them out and you put them together, and, you know, it took you, in their mind, a very short amount of time, when in reality, it's hours sometimes longer. Just to do a simple, you know, a flower or something like that, it could be over an hour easily. And it just doesn't look like that kind of time. I don't know why, but it just doesn't. So if you don't enjoy it, it's not good time. To me, it's good time because I enjoy it. And I enjoy getting a thing at the end that I like. So this time I'm going to be smarter, though. So I'm going to go pink, yellow, teal. Pink, purple, whatever color. It's okay. Yellow, teal, pink. Okay. Then I'm going to go pink, yellow, teal. Pink, yellow, teal. I don't know why that's such a hard concept for me. There. Okay. So this one's going to go here, this one's going to go here, this one's going to go here. It's going to go on, of course, the one that has the little, but I think it'll be okay. Because I think if you let them hang down, I think I learned a lot from that one time. And that's kind of the secret to these. Once you do them once, it becomes so much easier. The first time is definitely the hardest. And then after that, it does get easier. So if you've got one of these sitting in your cabinet and you're like, hey, or closet or door or whatever you keep your things in, and you're thinking, oh no, I'm never going to be able to do this, I'm here to tell you, you can do it. And it will be fun. But that first time is a little bit harder than the rest of the times. After that, you'll know things like this. Like, oh, you really got to match them up to the right one. You don't want to be messing around with that. And if I look at these right, what I think is they flip over. So like this one here, if you turn them around, this is how it's going to go on. They try to make it easy for you, but it's not always intuitive. And they just, I think there are directions of some sort on somebody's page somewhere, but I don't know where they are. And my experience has been to just, you know, do it and figure it out. But I know not everybody is like that. I'm very much a learn by mistake person, but not everybody is. And the best thing to do is to watch a video and watch how people put it together and see which one of those things work for you, because inevitably someone will do it in a way that makes sense to you. And then I've had people do these, by the way, who just said, this is just not for me. I just don't like it. So, you know, don't fight it. If you don't like it, just don't do it. So many things in crafting that there are to like. Do the things you like. I like doing these. I like doing them, and I like taking the time to do them. Now, I don't like doing them if I don't feel I have time. If I've got other things to do and I'm like, oh, I only got an hour, I'm not going to sit down and put one of these together, because I know that's not going to be enough time, and I'm going to be frustrated, and I'm going to try to hurry, and then it's going to come out bad, and I'm not going to have fun. But if I have time, this to me is fun. This to me is fun. Even when I get aggravated by it, it's still fun. It's not, it's a good aggravation, you know? It's like first world problem aggravation. It's definitely not something that's gonna ruin my day if it doesn't come out. But it is something that could make my day when it does. I put some things together that when after they were done, I just kept looking at them going, that is so cool. And Sizzix is one of the companies that has done that. That's the reason I like making those things, is because I've seen those things come out so good, and they just make me want to make more. And I think that's fun, to just want to do more, you know. All right, now I've got two banners. Two banners. Well, we need grass. I'll put these away. So when I made these two tags that I'm going to use, I had this in mind. So I'm going to make the green, and I'm going to make it high enough at the bottom so I can put Happy Easter, Hello Spring, whatever I've got in there that I want to put in. So I'm going to make it a little bit higher than you would think. So what I like to do with this is this. I like to do it like this, and then put this going across to make it look good. To do that, I'm going to need to go on my big shot. I'm going to put some of this on the top, just to give it a little bit of texture. I don't want a lot of texture up here. I just want a little bit. So I'm going to use a blue, a light blue. I think I'm going to go with tumbled glass. Just a little blue in the sky, basically, is what this comes down to. But I'm going to use these brushes because they're a little lighter. They won't come in so dark, and they'll get in these crevices pretty good, because that's kind of what they do. So I'm going to do that. I don't need a lot of it. I just need enough to give it a little bit of background so it kind of looks Easter-like. I think that's a pretty good background right there. I'm very happy with that. So we'll do the same thing on this one. And I got the green coming up there, so I'm not too worried about it. And I like the way it fades into the top. I like that. Doesn't need to fade on the sides, but it needs to fade on the top. Or it should. And it doesn't need to. It doesn't need to do anything. But here we go. So that, I think, is a good texture for the top of it. This is what we're going to do, is put these down here like this. But what I want to do is put a little bit of Rustic Wilderness on here before I do that, because I think that making it, give it a little bit of definition will help it a lot. So I'm going to put that on here to kind of give it a little bit of definition. So you can see where it's at. I don't think I'm going to put it on the top, because like the further away it gets, you kind of want it to look like it's sorry, I bring that up close to me to do that, and I realize then you can't see it. But I kind of want it to look like that, because they're going to sit up there anyway. So I think that's going to be good. Just want it there so that you can see the difference between the two layers. Now we're going to glue these down. So what I'm thinking now is all we got left to do at this point is put it together pretty much. I said earlier I might put a sentiment on here, but I'm kind of thinking I might not. And the main reason being, I don't think it needs one. I mean, I think it's so obvious what it is. Oh, okay. So watch putting your glue on here. or you won't be able to put anything behind it where you want to kind of stick them. So you might not want to get that down too hard so you can put your little flower guys in there. That's a mistake. So I'm going to do this. That'll stick it down good, but I'll be able to put things behind it if I want. I'm going to do the same thing on this one, because if I want to put something in there, I can, but I don't have to, and it'll still stay down. So let me try and do it on this one. I'm going to go around the outside for sure, because I need it to stay down there. And then I'm just going to go leave it a little bit of room there. And if I want to put something in there, I can. If not, it'll stay down. It's fine. It can be a pocket. If you wanted to put money or something in there, you can do that too, to give it as a gift. You know, these kind of pockets are, you know, you could put the bunny in front and then put the money behind them. Follow the money. So my idea to do this, here's one and here's the other. It's got a little Easter egg. Maybe I'll put the Easter egg down here like it's hiding. I should probably do it on this side because I gave more room on this side, didn't I? Yeah, that's got room. Like it's hiding a little bit. That could be fun. Then I got all these to put up. We'll put this going across like this. And if I cut one or two of them off, that's okay. I mean, so you didn't use them all. It's all right. It's not like you don't have enough of them on there to get the idea that it's a party. It's an Easter party in this particular case. But if you're making it for a birthday or whatever, just keep in mind, this is what happens. You're going to end up cutting that last one off, and that's okay. Especially in this case, because that's the one I messed up on. It kind of works out to my advantage, doesn't it? And then what I want to do is put these guys in here. Have them, maybe have one of them going down like this. And then I'm going to put these four here and these four on this one. I'm just going to play with them and get them the way I want them. I really think it looks cute when you stick them down in there like that, because then they kind of have a little bit more of a, but they can be all over. That's why I think I don't want to have that's why I think I don't want to have a sentiment on here. I think it looks cute without it. I think it's got plenty going on here. I did put a little bit of white in his eyes with a gel pen while I was playing around earlier. Just don't think it was enough yet. There we go. I think liking that better. There we go. I think that looks better. And then play around a little bit. Make it the way you want it. And if you don't like it again, just cut this little guy off and redo it. I'm liking him pretty good now. He's looking pretty good. This little chick looks adorable. All right. I'm going to glue these down. I'm not going to pop him up. And the main reason I don't want to pop him up is because if he's on a tag, I just think you're basically asking for trouble if you pop him up on a tag. I'm going to leave them. All right, let's put these guys in. Where do I want these guys to be? These little stems, and this is where I'm going to put the flowers, obviously. So I'll put one down here, and one over here. And I will have to glue that down, this Maybe I should make the egg lay down a little bit more. Yeah, like that. There we go. And then, is that 4 of them? Yeah, so we're going to put one down here and then one right here. I think that'll be good. All right, so I'm going to glue these guys down and then glue the flowers down, and I'll be back. All right, so I glued everything down, and this is what we ended up with. 2 pretty cute tags for Easter using Sizzix Tim Holtz. This is from the Vault die set. Again, I chose not to put the glasses on, and I chose not to put the little bow tie. I left them like they were because I thought they were cute. Did a lot of little things that I thought were, just added to it. I could put, Happy Easter, Happy Spring, something like that, but I'm probably going to leave them like they are, just because I think they came out pretty cute like this. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you got inspired to try some die sets yourself, or if not, maybe deciding that those are not for you. Whatever the case may be, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, or at least comment, say something that you liked or didn't like, or whatever you want to let me know about. That would be great. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Until next time, keep crafting.
And dance by the light of the moon.